Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Eric. If you're new, please subscribe. So we just finished up the engine bay and now we're going to work our way from the bottom up. I'm going to show you guys how to build a subframe for an Evo 10. So this Evo 10 here has a rear subframe on it that I had built several years ago, and I really like it. Not just because of the weight savings, but it looks really good. And on this car I never got around to doing the front subframe, so fingers crossed, I'm going to build one for this car, and if that jig works out, I'll build another one for this one as well. Alright, first thing we got to do is we got to get to building a jig. Alright, so I got all the mounting points for power steering rack, and then also there's a motor mount that goes right here as well. So I got all those points set. Now what I need to do is pick up these 2 points right here and then 2 down there as well, and that's for the sway bar. And then I'll tie everything together via a bar across here and get some support across here as well. So let's do that. A jig. Look at that. Doesn't have to be pretty, it just needs to be strong to be able to make sure that none of your points move. So that's what I achieved with this thing. Now we just need to start welding up some tubes, but the first thing I think we're going to do is make our mounting points. Alright, so I got the mounting tubes bolted up to the jig, and they're all finished. So now what I got to do is I got to bend 2 tubes. These tubes, basically, one of them, actually both of them, are going to be for the lower control arms, and they will weld up to the tabs that the lower control arm will mount to on the front of the subframe. And then on the back side of the subframe, there'll be like these little pockets that the lower control arm bolts up into. So let's get to bending those. Alright, so we got our tube bent, and now we just need to get our tab from here to here, and that'll be for the lower control arm. Alright, so I got a few of these tubes actually tacked up on here, and this thing is starting to actually look like a subframe. So the next thing I want to do with the subframe is make a template and kind of make these little pockets that the lower control arms fit into. So I'll probably use cardboard to make the template for it, and then from there I can make it in out of sheet metal. So my buddy Justin from the fabrication series helped me design these little plates for the pockets for the control arm, and we did that in Onshape. It's a program that basically does CAD design, and from there we exported the file, and I was able to upload it to SendCutSend, and they were able to make these things, and they turned out fantastic. As you can see, I got them tacked up on here, and I think all we got to do now is just start welding everything up. So I put my hood down and I got to welding. I had to take this thing out of the jig, that way I could get all the way around the tube, but I did get pretty far on this. The only thing I have left to do, I think welding wise, is I need to weld the lower control arm tab, and then also for the sway bar there's 2 mounting points that I have to do as well. So let's get to doing that.
I'm a drop in the ocean, just a face in a crowd waiting to be seen. Big dreams set in motion, I wanna go where no one's ever been. I would climb the highest mountain, I would dive the deepest sea, just so I could make you feel what I feel. Aiming for the sky, yeah, I really thought we'd make it. Got my head in the clouds, but I can see the world from up here, from up here, from
I'm sure you guys are curious what the weight difference is between the stock subframe and the tubular one is, so let's put this on here and find out. $29.4, and this subframe looks to be 20 pounds 8 ounces, so I'd say like 9 pounds difference. I will definitely take 9 pounds off of the front of this chassis because these Evo 10s are pretty heavy. So now we just need to get this thing in the car, and hopefully the fitment is correct. So let's do that. Well, I was just served a huge slice of humble pie. The fitment was off by like a ½ inch. I could get one side to line up with the holes, but the other side I would have had to hog out a ½ inch, and it just would put it too close to the edge of the tube that I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. So sometimes you just got to take the L and learn from your experience, which I did. I got a lot of welding in doing this thing. Unfortunately, it did take a lot of time to do it. But I think where my error is basically taking it out of the jig before welding on those little support tubes that would go to the mounting tube that goes straight up to the front of the subframe. So I think next time I would definitely try and put those on first before removing it. That way it keeps its rigidity and wouldn't spring back when releasing it out of the jig. But hey, it is what it is, you know. Learn from it and move on. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and also give it a like as well, and stay tuned for the next video. Alright, till next time guys, peace.
I'm a drop in the ocean, just a face in a crowd waiting to be seen. Big dreams set in motion.